Good evening, this is a foreigner in the Philippines. Well, I'm just going to have a short video, but it was something that I thought, and it seemed quite important in among all of those myriad of thoughts that I have, which are completely inconsequential and worthless, like most people. Okay, so what did I think? I just realized that when Beth and I met, we went through a really challenging period of very little money. And why did that happen? Well, I have explained before, but I have to tell it again so that everything I'm saying makes some sense. That might be a challenge for me, okay? So, I hadn't responded to a letter that I should have responded to, but hadn't received from the US, and that was about my pension. And when they send these letters out, it's to find out if you're dead or not. It's a very cheery thought, that is, isn't it? So, what you're supposed to do is get the letter and write back saying, here I am, thank you for inquiring, and they know that they continue to send your pension. Well, we didn't get the letter, so they stopped my pension. Now, this hadn't happened before, and we got, so if you don't respond to this letter, then they stop your pension. And they had stopped my pension, and things were a little bit difficult. Fortunately, I get an even smaller pension from the UK, so I had money. We did manage to live on it, and though it was for a period of time, several months before they reinstated my US pension, it was difficult, and we had our challenges. Then things got back to normal. We came to Bohol, and we started to live what we were trying to make a life out of. We started building a house, so for a time we struggled to buy all the materials to make a house and to support everybody, mom, medication, and stuff like that, all of the normal expenses. But of course, like most people, we worried about money. Now, I make enough on my pensions that we can live modestly, with very little leeway for anything else. So we did actually worry for nothing in a way. Now, how did that change? Well, right about the time that we used to be so concerned about money was when we used to be so concerned about ourselves. Now, if this sounds like it's going to be a preaching job, sorry about that. It's sharing with you a moment of intense realization where we started to let go of being concerned, and that turning point was when we started to try to help somebody else. Now, our struggles, our challenges with money took on a different colour. Now we were not talking about ourselves, we were talking about other people. And in the case of in the early cases that we attended to, that we took help to, these people were in a desperate situation. They were just having such a difficult time that when we came home to our modest little house with no windows and a door, and life didn't seem so bad, I can tell you. We started feeling that we were pretty wealthy. Now, we struggled on for a while, and we kept on doing what we did. Now, this is after we'd built a road, after we'd built a bridge, and that was when we went to that first milestone moment when we realized that we should help the people that we were seeing in trouble. And we did that. And a little while after that, we started our YouTube channel. Now, as I've mentioned before, for, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 months, I could be wrong, we never got any money from our YouTube, because they kept saying, well, you need a PIN number. And when we asked for a PIN number, they'd say, yes, we can give you a PIN number. What's your PIN number so that we can log you in? You can see how that's a catch-22 situation. If you don't know what catch-22 is, I made a video on that a little while ago. Catch-22 is you can have anything you want, you just can't ask for it. So, we actually started to do our videos because we enjoyed it, we had fun, and then we started to talk about real life, which was the emphasis on our videos and our channel. We had our doubts whether anybody would be interested in that, but it turned out that we were wrong and people were interested in just the simple life of dealing with chickens and building a house and stuff like that, and it started to work very well. Then, of course, all around about the same time, we started helping. We started helping, first of all, we started helping Desiree, and people got involved through the stories that we told in Desiree's situation. So now, Desiree's situation became more important than ours. In fact, we didn't come home and think that we had any situation. We were just having fun. We weren't trivializing what people were going through. We were taking things very seriously, but it was fun. It was absorbing. We spent all our time together. We were bonded together like welded steel. It was incredible. We just loved what we were doing, and we loved each other. Did we do it because we were doing things for ourselves? No, and Beth and I talked about this the other night, and we realized that it was because we were not thinking about ourselves. We were thinking about the problems of other people. We were serving. And whether it sounds like preaching or not, I can't apologize. It's just the way that it is. If you want to be a friend, but this is not new stuff, you know. I mean, I read this years and years ago, 1900 and Frozen to Death, I think. If you want a friend, if you don't have any friends, go out and be a friend to somebody. If you want to start thinking that you can be helped, in our case, go out and help somebody. Just by helping somebody, you actually elevate your sense of your own power, of your own self-beingness, and you become more than you were a moment ago. Now you're the one that is saying, I'm going to try to help this person. It's a huge, huge change in position. Now you are empowering yourself. How did you do it? Somehow, the way to do it is not involved in any of your positive thinking. How it's going to happen is not your problem. Right now, we have just started what we are calling the 2 rag houses, and we've started one of the houses. And the first thing that we've done is gone along, and with a shopping list, we've gone along to Ambacon Hardware in Atafi, and we bought a load of materials. I think the materials fairly modest, some, but almost half, in fact probably more than half of the funding that we already have is now gone, and we have only enough materials to start the job. Now normally I would have said, how can we possibly do that? You know, where's your sense of responsibility? We've got to have all the money there, otherwise, and so on. I'd be stressed. Now we started that job. It's a leap of faith. I'm not thinking of myself, so I'm not worried. I'm not concerned. I'm not stressing for me. I want the job to be done because there are 6 children down there in rags in the most pathetic little house that I've ever seen. Even worse than the paralysed man and even worse than the 3 little girls. This house is a hovel. It would be a disgrace to garden sheds, is how it is. And yet there are 6 little boys and girls who are calling that home. And I should be worried about me? I don't think so. So, where is all of this going? Well, we started off talking about money and how much we need and all of that. And now I don't worry, I don't stress about money. We have noticed, we have achieved a very slight income increase, which for most people would be an absolute pittance, but for us it's made a great deal of difference, and now we don't actually concern ourselves with the problem of money. Now, this is not because we're reaping 60, 70, 80% of the money that we get to do our projects off the top, because we don't. It's because we're not focusing on our needs, but on the needs of people who desperately need help. And that has set us free. Now, we do our work, which occupies us pretty well 24/7. We go to bed thinking about what we've done in the day and what we're going to do tomorrow, and we get up in the morning, and if someone's not there asking us for if they can loan a few hundred pesos, somebody will be selling us a goat or not. And we'll think about what we have to do that day and who is going to be impacted by our actions. We don't actually come into it. And so if it is that you're out there and you're wondering all about you, try it. Try to start being concerned about somebody else. Start trying to think, there's an effect that I could create here that would change somebody's life. Try to think that way, and I promise you, you will be set free of all of your worries. And that doesn't mean, as you know, people have called me a pagan and a non-believer. It's all quite untrue. My beliefs are every bit as strong as everybody else, and I believe in a creator. If I don't call him the same as you, well, forgive me. But I know that divine intervention awaits your willingness to step up and serve. And of that, I'm convinced, will set you free. This is a foreigner in the Philippines. Thanks for looking in. Bye for now.